So that's enough about me. I want to talk a little bit about today to encourage you, and I hope you have your pen, hope you have your pencil, hope you have something to drink. I encourage you to have something to drink. Get yourself a favorite mug. Take a sip. Relax. When I was working for domestic violence, one of the things that was recommended that as counselors, we would talk to our clients as if we were talking to a friend at our kitchen table and having a cup of coffee. So that's what I want to do today, is just have you relax and listen and jot down. Hopefully something I say will spark some interest. I want to talk about self-assessment. Self-assessment. Now, this is taken from a book that I wrote back in 1991. I was working for Lincoln University at their Urban Center. And we were working, the title of the program was the Women's Technical Program. We were training people to go back to work in electronics. And I defined for that purpose, self-assessment is an inventory of your strength, your weaknesses, your goals, your achievement, and your resources. It's a personal inventory of the people, places, and things that have influenced your life. It is an examination of who you are as a physical, emotional, mental, social, and spiritual being. I know that's a mouthful. But there are some questions to help you get through that and identifying the people, places, and things in your life. And you take a piece of paper. Start with I am. Now you can say wife, mother, doctor, lawyer, teacher, student, whatever. Think of the things that you like to do, list 5 of them, and then you list some goals, maybe 3, maybe 4. And you go further into who you are, and you say the most influential person in your life is or was. Think about that. Is right now or was. And for me, if I was to say was, I would say my grandmother. And you said, but what did you learn from that person? From my grandmother, I learned honesty. I learned I should talk about things and think about them. Take consultation. Now, her consultation was with her Dr. Jesus, because she'd talk about something. And if someone offended her, she would say, well, I'm going to take Dr. Jesus and I'm going to go talk to that person. And for example, I don't know how old I was 9 or 10, in a community that we lived in, as I said once before, was segregated. And my grandmother was first generation out of slavery, which means the white people around us were also first generation of people who had not been slave owners. And it was customary for the whites to call blacks, after they got, say, 70 years old, they would call them aunt or uncle. My grandmother turned 70. The white store owner started calling her aunt. Her name was Lily Wicks. She didn't like that. So she talked about it. So she took her Dr. Jesus, and I went with her. She went to the store, and she said, Bob. His name was Robert Green. She called him Bob. She said, Bob, the world is a bowl of peaches, and I am the cream. I am not your aunt. Now, you can call me Lola, you can call me Lily, or you can call me Mrs. Wicks, but do not call me aunt. And he apologized, and from that day on, he called her Mrs. Wicks. And of course, if she was the cream of the world, so am I. So I thought at that time anyway. But what did you learn from something like that, as simple as a conversation between an adult in your life, maybe, and when you were a child, and how that affected you? This is what makes you feel fully alive. I am one of the few people in the world. I love giving public speeches. So when I'm speaking to an audience, and at the end, I really do feel like I have done something to feed my soul. I feel alive. Think of the skills you have, and don't say you don't have any skills, because even for someone that cooks, now if you make a cake and you decorate that cake and it's pretty, you have a skill. Cakes, cupcakes, whatever. You don't have to draw to be an artist. There are various ways of being an artist, and there are skills to cooking, even oatmeal that's tasteful. Because there are some people that make their oatmeal lumpy, and some people that it comes out just as smooth as can be. So think about something that you do very well and you may not value, but it's something that gives you skill and makes you feel good. And if you want to change or better your situation, what do you need to do? And what is it that you want to do? And is something that you have been wishing for, or wishing you could do, a place you were wishing you could go? What do you need to do to make that a reality? So, I'm going to leave that with you. What do you need to do to make something special in your life a reality? And just write it down. That's why I encourage you to keep a pencil and a pad nearby, because they say that there was a short story writer. What he did was keep a pencil and a pad by his bed, so when he had a dream, he could write that dream down. I'm going to leave you with this poem, The Voice Within. The call came. It was not the phone, but a voice within. It was not a time to play or to rest. It was a time to learn. The call came. It was not an angel of death. It was the voice within. A call to action. The call came. It was not to board a bus or a plane or a train. It was a time to be still, a time to listen to wisdom, a time to absorb the wisdom written by others. It was a time to create your own path. This is Rosalie. Be good to yourself and kind to someone else. Until next Friday.